Okay, welcome back, guys. So we're back here in the Dark World, in the main part of Agon. Now there's just a couple of quick things we can get before we go fight the boss. We can pop through this dark door here. This should just be a missile power-up. What all's in here? Okay, a bunch of little guys. Let's fake them. So yeah, these guys, one single shot from the light beam takes them right out. The light beam's really good for that. Over here, this is where the door would be back to the main temple grounds, but there's nothing here. You're supposed to come through and go, what? There's nothing here, and then turn around, and here's your missile. So, what are we up to on missiles? We are up to 30, is that it? 35? I thought I'd have more by now. Oh well. So, there are a bunch of missiles I could get back in the overworld, but we're going to be going back there in a little bit anyway, and it'll be easier to get them soon, so it actually makes more sense. Now we're going to head up here. So I'm having to get used to the controls again, because I've been playing on the Wii, or the Wii U rather. Metroid Prime, if this will date this video, but if anyone doesn't know, Metroid Prime Trilogy just got re-released for the Wii U Virtual Console, which is huge. Go get it if you don't have it. Basically, it's all three Metroid Prime games, kind of tuned up for HD, tuned up so that they run with the Wii motion controls, like the third game does. So the first two games have the point and shoot, like the third game does, and it's all released in one big package. And originally it was released in a nice cool box, and there were very, very few copies of it made, and so if you didn't get it at the initial release, like, now you can buy copies of it online for like a couple $100. It's just ridiculous. But basically there was no real easy consumer way to get this product until now. They've re-released it as a digital download for, I think it was like 15, 20 bucks, it wasn't bad, on the Wii U Virtual Console, so definitely go get it. If you don't have it, it's just a great thing to have. Because you get all three games. The first two games, the music is tuned up and fixed. The first game had a lot of music problems in the initial copy, and now it plays fantastically. You hear all these cool little sound effects with all the enemies that you didn't really hear from them before. It's just a really nicer version. But yeah, I've been having to get used to the motion controls, which I actually prefer these controls, honestly. The motion controls just kind of screw me up, and that controller gives me a worse case of hook hand than the PS3 controller that I'm using to play this, or the GameCube that I would originally play. So I still recommend it. So now we can go through this door as well, which is, oh, a save point. Okay, well, that's good to have right here, actually. I'll take it. The Metroid Trilogy release also changes a number of things in the first two games. It changes a lot of the Chozo lore, or not a lot of it, but some of it is rewritten in a new way. That kind of gives you new information, kind of retcons a couple things. There's a few other scans and general changes like that. A couple cutscenes are changed. Basically to bring the different versions of the game in line with the PAL version, the official version. So a lot of stuff in the version that I played for you guys is retconned and is not accurate anymore, but I still prefer the initial version. I'll talk about that all in an upcoming video I've got working about the Chozo and things like that. So, now we're back at the Dark Temple. Big thing in the center we couldn't see anymore, or we couldn't scan before, still can't scan. They should sell something new now. Yep, key code acknowledged, final lock deactivated, you may now access the temple. So here's a little, we get this cool little shimmering light thing. So let's do it. So, kind of anticlimactic door, but now we can hop down here and find out what this is about. Which, like I said last time, if you saw one of my earlier videos, you know what this is about. Welcome to the first real boss of the game. This is a Morbus. This is a Buyer-generated power sphere. Provides dark energy to the Morbus. Xenotech is in the sphere. So this is impervious to my weapons, but there's some technology inside. So these guys are big tunnelers, and they're going to do this and try and jump up. There's 3 of them. And this is the main body. So Morbus, gigantic tunneling guardian. Notice the Morbus can move through solid rock and earth with ease and can sense the location of surface level prey deep within the ground. So it's like, you know, the Tremors guys. Whatever, I forgot what those guys were called, but big sandworms. They will attempt to ram any target they can find, vulnerable to all forms of weapons fire, but are incredibly strong and resistant to pain. So yeah, they're just big slug guys, big worms, chompy mouth on the front there. So there's 3 of them that were attached to the central ball, and you can see and kind of hear them pop up like that. And then they have an armor casing that you have to break off. It's quicker to just do it with the light beam. As you see, it takes it all off in one shot. But you do have to use a charge shot, and you will need to use the beam later. So, I took the one guy down, and now he's going to fuse with the main core and become his dark version. Dark Morbus. So, it gets this cool armor plating with these big, like, rhinoceros beetle spikes in the front, and he attaches himself to the ball. Really cool looking boss. Can attach to the dark spear and draw potent energy from within. They can fire dark energy light, so they can nullify the safe zones out here. They can channel energy to palpable beam attacks. Yeah, this is going to be his main weapon against me. That is just, it's really shit. You'll see. Bioscans indicate a weak spot inside his mouth. So, same thing. Because he's a dark creature, the light beam is going to be great here. If I can get a shot in. There, pops his head. Now he's going to lower his head and suck me in. I can drop a more ball in his mouth, or a bomb. Alright. So there you see he cracked the big orb a little bit. That's essentially the fight. I gotta rinse, repeat that 3 times with one more head on the main orb each time, essentially. And he'll start taking out these light crystals and just generally giving me a hard time. The bosses in this game definitely are better than the bosses in the last game, I think. As far as general difficulty. There I go. As you see, every time I pop one of the heads, they drop all kinds of power-ups and upgrades. Okay, so the first thing he's probably going to do is, yeah. So this is his big dark beam attack. It just kind of sweeps over the area. Big. You can see the size of this laser. The best way to dodge it is to go into morph ball and just zoom around it as best you can. But it's pretty wide and it sweeps back and forth, so... Alright, now we're good. Charge shot will take those out right away. Otherwise, if you just fight him here with the power beam, you're going to be spending a long time. He's going to start nullifying safe zones, and it's not going to be fun. But as you can see, unless you hit him right in the face, everything bounces off. So I'm wasting a lot of my light ammo. And there you see he already knocked out one of the other safe zones in the corner there. That's 2. One more. Let me get a scan on it if I can. Where'd it go? Whatever. So this time I'm going to save a little bit of my dark ammo, or my light ammo. You know what, fuck it, let's use it. I always play too conservatively with the beam ammo in this game. Come here. See, now all 3 of them are up. There we go. I do want to save some ammo for the main fight though. If you're not careful, these guys will pop up under you and land on you, and they actually do a lot of damage. But as you can see, right now it's just kind of tricky to hit them. Here's one. Okay. haven't hit him at all. Jeez. Yeah, he's the last one left, I think. One more. Okay. Almost done. Now, if you look at his health bar, it looks like he's got 2 more rounds left. But it's really, he's only just got this one. So they should do the big beam attack, yep. That'll be even worse. Yeah, you can just kind of get close to him to dodge it, but that means you'll be taking energy from the dark atmosphere. So, if you try to hang out in the safe zones, he's definitely going to be hitting you. It's kind of a trade-off. At least this boss has safe zones. That's not going to last for the bosses in this game. No, see, that one's nullified, so I can probably scan this. No, but I can't even see my light beam bounces right off. So when they're like that, ow. Yeah, he's nullifying all of them. I gotta open this one up. I am not doing well here. Alright, I'm gonna hang out here because I'm really low on health. Oh, there's 100. Sweet! Okay. Fine now. Hey dude, come here. Alright, we're done. That's the boss. Now we get something cool, which is at the same time not cool. Dark suit. Okay. This suit is awesome, and it's terrible. Let's just do it. Well, so, behold, the glorious ugliness of the dark suit. Okay, so this suit, let's read about it. Protects you against the toxic atmosphere of dark ether. Modification increases your defensive shielding, can resist the caustic effects of dark ether, dark energy attacks will still hurt. So yeah, it's just like getting the Very suit or any other suit in the last game. My defense in general has gone up, and now I can actually... If I head out here into the... Well, that platform raises. If I walk out... Look at how fast my energy is raising here in the light field. If I go out... Now my energy drains much, much more slowly. It drains at the same rate that it raises in the light fields. This generally is going to make exploration of Dark Ether considerably more possible. Considerably easier. I can just hang out here for much longer periods of time. Without just getting completely destroyed by the atmosphere. So that's the general bonus of this suit. This suit's actually going to last us for the bulk of the rest of the game. There's only one other suit, and we don't get it till the very end, but it is totally worth it. So if we go back and look at this one again, aesthetically it's a really strange suit. We don't get any indication of where it comes from, whether it's Luminoth tech, whether it's Space Pirate tech. You know, it's weird. The design resembles the Amorphous itself. You can see the 3 little eyes on the back there and the kind of mandibles. So, but it's got these really huge, goofy, like truck tire wheel shoulder pads that are just, you know, they fixed the shoulder pads on the main suit and then gave him these goofy things. I don't know. I kind of like the colors. It's this rusty sort of, it's distinct. It just doesn't feel like Samus. I guess it's completely unique from any other suit in any other game. Even the fusion suits with their awful garish colors at least look like something Samus might wear. This just looks really foreign to her, I think. Um, it'll look. I'll get an upgrade later in the next in Torvis that gives me a little backpack that does improve the appearance, especially from behind, a fair deal. But still, it's not probably one of my least favorite suits in the series. Just aesthetically, it's not pleasing, and it's not her. It doesn't feel like a Metroid suit. So, but it's still an interesting suit, and it's distinctive for this game. So this is the spear or the morph ball, which looks like one of the shoulder pads, basically. Um, it doesn't look that special. Once they get Spider Ball, the appearance will change a little bit. So, now, let's move on. And I think the color schemes of my gun actually match this suit. Let's show what I'm wearing. No, it'll show that gun. Oh well. The color schemes on the guns change significantly more than they do in the first game. In the first game, they just kind of changed color. The inside of the gun did, and now the actual plating on the gun gets a color shift. So, here's the Dark Temple. Oh, there's no enemies here. There's no dark-ing version of the Luminoth guy to here talk to us. There's just this giant pool of energy up here. You can see in the light world this was empty, but here it is in the dark world. I get an auto cutscene. Get used to this cutscene. Okay. So now we have collected all of the energy for this region, basically, from this giant energy controller, and using the transfer module that we got at the beginning of the game, it is now inside of us. I have a couple concerns with this. Basically, the energy output and general levels of power from these things are supposed to be like a global sort of, entire region encompassing, weather controlling, like, god machines, essentially. And so even with a special device created by the Luminoth to collect the energy and transfer it back, it seems odd to me that Samus and the suit would have the capacity to store that kind of energy just walking around. So that's one thing. The other concern I have is I kind of wish while I had this energy, I was super strong. Like she's walking around with enough power to, control the weather and everything in this giant area. But it doesn't change you at all. I'm not really improved in any way. I don't get more health. My attacks don't deal more damage. It would have been nice if, you like got some super power up while you... Oh, I'm at a light beam ammo. So as you can see, I can now charge it up to deliver just a single shot, which is weaker, so yeah, not worth it. I'm just gonna shoot these guys. See, if you're not careful with your ammo, it's gone. Real fast. Just die. And there's my audio bugs. He'll stick around for a minute. If we give him a couple rooms, it should go away. But yeah. Completely forgot what I was talking. I can show you it takes more shots. Dark Beam is not worth taking those guys out with. Completely forgot my train of thought. So we need to go back to the light world now. I'm gonna save first, actually. Oh yeah. So, I mean, I even wish... I kind of get if they didn't want to give us some power up by having this energy, because then we could take it through other areas in the game, maybe, um, and power through parts that would otherwise be easy or be tough. But I wish there was even just some sort of visual representation on the model or on Samus herself that you were carrying the energy. Like even, I'm thinking of like Star Fox Adventures, where when you collected the certain spirits, like Fox, while you had them in you before you took them back to the temple, Fox's eyes turned this like eerie, glowing purple that was just really cool. And even if it didn't do anything, it was a neat little visual change um, that represented that you had actually done something, and it was just a neat little touch. And I just kind of wish there was something like that in this game to show that you had the energy transfer, or if there's something the enemies reacted differently, or I don't know. Maybe I'm asking a little much, but oh well. So we just need to go back to this portal, which I could have gone that way, couldn't I? I'm a moron. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna go back there. I'll see you guys back in the light world. No, one thing that taking the energy away did do is it turned the sky this awful blood red with all these nasty storms. So this is because we've removed the energy from this area, so this zone in Dark Aether has destabilized in the same way that the light world was destabilized right now, because it doesn't have the energy either. So this place is basically now falling apart, and the entire Dark World is essentially going to start turning like this. But yeah. Okay, so we are back in the Light World Temple. Now, as you can see, the sky is still stormy, cloudy, lightning flashes. This is empty, but we're going to get that same cutscene in reverse, basically. This will activate the weather grid, which will clear up all this nastiness. This will send a beam back to the main temple. Now we get to go back to Umos and talk to him again, and he'll tell us where to go next. I'll update our translator module again. Oh no, wait, the guy in the Torvis does that. He will tell us where to go. This guy shows up and gives us a bow, which he pre-recorded just in case I succeeded, because he knew I would. Alright. So that is Agon mostly complete. There's still a ton of... So, okay, back in this main room, I could take both of these side paths. Except that I can't, because they both require... This is a gap I can shoot across with a kinetic orb cannon. It's kind of cool, but we need to go back there later, so I'll show you that later. This is an elevator to a part of Torvis that we can't get to yet. It's a linking zone. This as well, this is actually a big area that leads to the combination beam, the missile combo for the light beam. This is where that portal was, over here, but I can't get to that yet either. So that's all later stuff. Well, this game, the first game kind of had a problem as far, areas were linked and there were definitely shortcuts between different areas, but really the main path between areas was Magmor. It was just a straight line that led through the entire map, and so you had to go through Magmor to get to different places. This game is actually really good about linking the different... That every world has little side shortcuts back to the other different areas that you access as soon as you need them, basically. It's much more well done, but it does involve a lot more little morph ball tunnels you're running through, which I'm not fond of. we're heading back to the main overworld to go back to the temple and talk to Umos. I can't really, there's not much to do on the way there, so I'm just going to cut it, and I will see you back in a little bit. So now that we're back in the overworld, there's a ton of stuff I can do here, actually. This leads back down into the marine base down below that got devastated by all the bugs. But now that I have these translator modules, I can actually pop through these doors we couldn't get through at the beginning for a little shortcut. Right on back to my ship. You remember this room? Here we go. Welcome back. It's been a little while. So the ship should be a little more repaired now. It doesn't quite have as much smoke and fire belching from it, a little bit, I think, still, but it'll actually, as the game goes on, it'll become fully repaired. So let's just hop in on here. I forget if this recharges my beam ammo. Yeah, I bet you it does. Yeah, it does. Okay, so that's nice. Now I can activate this. Hit it with the light crystal. Remember at the beginning of the game we were like, what is this purple thing? I don't know. Now it seems so easy. Okay, so a shortcut up here. I think I need to be going this way. Okay, so this is this crazy mechanism going on with all of these, you know, display units, and then just a bunch of these stupid little flyers. Yeah, I think I'm coming here too early. Yeah, I am. So, but there's still stuff to scan. 3.3 decacycles ago, so, what is it, 16 years ago? Perished due to lack of nourishment. She remained at her post despite the fact that she was starving. Yeah, so yeah, she defended this post until she starved to death. That is dedication. Luminol statue. It says the statue is in danger of crumbling, but it's not going to fall apart soon. I don't even know why that's a scan. So this is a door that I can't get through. I need, let's see, it'll tell me. 5 energy pods. So yeah, there's these 5 points, and I got to destroy them all at once in order to get in. We'll get through that later, but I just wanted to show you all this. So now we're headed back across the other way, just to get a bunch of general things in the main compound. Oh, and this guy too. Forgot about you. That last hit breached my armor. The poison spreads. Though I have found the key, it is too late for me. My light will soon my light will fall. They know I am here. They will come to this site to plunder the key. My last stand shall be at the edge of the temple grounds. I only hope I have the strength to fight when they arrive. So most of the Luminol scans like that are going to be like them in their final moments, you know, either saying their piece or saying, you know, come get me, I will kill all of you, basically. So now back out here, and there is stuff I can do. I think there's a missile or two I can go get down in the marine compound, but I don't really feel like going down there, to be honest. So I can pop this, which opens up a portal. I can hop on this. So the thing about this cutscene, unlike the first game where it copied your beam into every cutscene, no matter what beam you're wearing here, when you go through a portal, it always shows you in the power beam. When you're actually inside, I don't really get it. So out here, there's a whole bunch of poisoned atmosphere, but as you see, even the crazy ones spitting out the gas don't hurt me much anymore. This is a giant ing structure. Mutated ing worms. Been bred for massive size. So yeah, this is just a giant gate, basically. You can see there's the dark version of the main temple, and you can see 2 beams of light coming to it from the 2 areas we have yet to go to. There would be a third if I hadn't yet completed Agon. So that's a really cool little touch that you can see it, and you can see the energy going up to it. So there's just a missile over here. bunch of anger gonna attack me, but we're just gonna get out of here real quick because there's no other way. Oh, there's a door. But again, that's another purple door. I don't have the beam to get through. So we're just gonna leave. And we're just gonna go talk to Umos real quick and call it a day. So back in here, I could go through. Oh, never mind. I can't. Can't get through those doors yet. I thought I. Hey, buddy. What's up? I look different now. Actually, I kind of look like him now. The colors are the same. Thank you for restoring the energy to Temple of Agni. Your valor honors Illuminant, those who have passed and those who remain, here under my protection as they sleep in deep stasis. Be on guard, for the Ing do not suffer defeat lightly. They will surely seek revenge for your actions. With the energy lost from the desert region, they will increase their efforts in other lands. I have detected unusual amounts of Ing activity in the Torvis sector. The enemy is on the move. That's where I'm headed next. Of course. The swamplands of Torvis are treacherous and can hinder you considerably. Bear this in mind as you move through the bog. Samus is like, okay, let me steel myself. Seek the Temple of Torvis, more knowledge awaits you there. May the light be there, yada yada. Okay. So, we're gonna call it there. I'm gonna go down and save, and I will see you guys next time.